I'll read. So on the back of yesterday's video, I had a few questions about the day to day and how I get the data. So I'm going to show you that in this video today. I was going to go through the pivot tables and everything, but I'll do that in the next video. So first off, I want to do at the start of each of these videos, I'll go through the results because it's Sunday morning today at 20 to 10. This is yesterday's data here. I've added a few bits of colour out of these columns. So on the experts column, if it's a 0, it's just red, and then it goes up to green the higher the number gets. So you can see there, 4's green. So anything that's not a 0, we're interested in. Similarly with the value, green's good. So 5's green, 4, 3, 2's yellow, 1, and then 0's red. And then with the results, a win is a +1 and a loss is a -1. We did have one result yesterday, which is a 0, because I think that was a handicap, so that we got one money back. And this one, the match was actually postponed, so I've got the result in there as postponed and a 0 as profit. So these were all the bets yesterday. So if I highlight that column there, profit, you can see we were 1.4 up, which is really good for a Saturday, because the previous 2 Saturdays have been diabolical, to be honest. And don't forget, that's all of the bets. So the interesting part now is if we highlight just where we've had an expert tip, so we take out all the 0s, these were the actual bets I actually put on. So I just put a pound on all of these. You can see we actually had 4 losers, which is quite high. So we had that one, which was a 1-1 draw. We had Blackburn QPR. QPR won that one, surprisingly. Well, against the odds anyway. Newcastle Luton. There was 4 experts said Newcastle would beat Luton. Luton managed to get a draw. Boo. And then this Porto Rio Avenue finished 0-0. So I didn't watch that one or anything, so I'm not sure what happened there. But Porto were odds on for the home win, 1.22. And also, I think Rio Avenue had a player sent off. But anyway, if we highlight that now, you can see that's 2.53. So I actually made 2.53 profit yesterday, which is, in my case, £2.53. Obviously, if I'd been placing a £10 bet, that would have been 25 quid, £25.30. So that's not a bad day at all. So if I go onto the pivot table, you can see that highlighted here. If I highlight this, there's the 2.53. That's the 3rd of the 2nd, which was Saturday. Expert 1, expert 2, expert 3, expert 4. The 4 experts one was -1 because that was the Newcastle Luton game, and then the others are all positive. Okay. There's a 1.4 total for the whole day. So again, it rings true for getting rid. At the minute, it's still ringing true for getting rid of the 0 experts, where we don't have an expert tip. Just don't back on it, but we're recording the data anyway. If we go back to the data, and I haven't done the pivot table for the value yet, but if we take the expert, if we put that back on there. Again, the only filter I've got on here is a date, so we're just looking at yesterday's date. But if I go for value 5, if I clear all these, and all you need to do is filter on value 5, so it'll show us all our value 5, and then just highlight the profit. You can see there we got 4.87. So again, it might still be worthwhile looking at the value bets. The problem I've got with some of the value bets is you get really high odds. There was a 90 to 1 shot. There was a correct score of 4-3 the other day, which was a value bet of 5. It's just because the odds were like higher. So these are probably higher risk going with value 5, because it's just looking at value bets. It's not looking at whether the probability the bet's going to happen or not. If we add 4 in, so that was 4.87. If we add 4 in and highlight it now, we can see we're only at 0.54. So again, that might have just been luck with a ratings of 5, but it wouldn't have been worth including 4 and 5 yesterday. But certainly 5 would have been. Okay, but again, we'll look at all that in later videos as we get more data, because again, I can't reiterate enough, we haven't got a hell of a lot of data here at all. We've only got like a few days at the minute. We need a lot more data. You need months worth of data, not just sort of days or weeks. You definitely need months for to do something like this. That's why I'm happy enough to go with the experts at the moment, because it means a lot less bets per day. So let's move on to the daily grind then. What I do is I fill out this working data sheet, and this is from yesterday, so I'm just going to highlight all this and delete it so it's blank. I just blank that out every day. So this is my working data. It's like a daily worksheet. And then I go to the OLBG site, and I go to this page here for the football tips. Just in there, or if you just leave this open, I just refresh it here. In fact, I'll just do a quick refresh now. Okay, so here you get your tips. They're not necessarily for today. And I think the concern of some people is I typed all this in. I don't. I capture it all. I sort of scrape it with some add-in for Chrome browser. But it's not ideal. But that's just because the way this table's set out, it doesn't pull like these graphics through, so it can't determine that that's football, for example. And then it doesn't pull. For some reason, it doesn't pull the odds. I'm not sure why. But I'll show you the nuances when I've pulled the data. The first thing I do then, also one other thing to add is that all the tips aren't always for today. You see that one's for tomorrow. A lot of these are for today actually, but a lot of them are normally not. A lot of these are for today. I'm dragging down this list now. So there's the 13th of Feb. There's tomorrow. So they're not all for today. There's no way at the top. It's not the best of sites because there's no way at the top to filter for just today. You can't sort by just today. Although I'm not sure that one does. Oh, that does sort by today. Oh, that's not so bad then. Didn't realise that sorted by today. I thought that would have sorted by the event name in alphabetical order, but that does sort because the next game is 10:30. So I'll do it the way I normally do it, but I'll have a look at that sorting by today, because I'll show you what I normally do to get rid of anything that's not today, because all I'm interested in each day is for today's bets. But I normally sort it by rating, and I go from the highest to lowest, and I'll show you why I do that in a second. So what I use then is, so I've sorted that by rating, so I've got the 5 stars at the top, and it goes down, then it'll change to 4-star, and then they'll change to 3-star. And the reason I've done this is because when I was just doing 5 and 4-star ratings, I was just going down to this one here. So that would have been Lazio and Bayern Munich, and I would have just not. I'm not interested in all the rest because it goes 2-0. But what I wanted to do going forward is capture all this data all the way down this page. Capture all the data so I could analyze all the results, not just the ratings of 4 and 5, which I mentioned in the previous video. So you can see the experts tips are here for today. These only 2-star value. But anyway, I've sorted it by rating. I will look at the sorting it by events and let you know if I change to that in future. But then I use this add-in. It's up here. If I highlight up here on the right, it says Instant Data Scraper. So all you do here is you click on that, and it pulls out. It looks at the table on the website. It pulls out the data, so you can see. Ignore the headings; they're just a bit strange. But you can see the games down the left-hand side here. And if we move along to the right, there's like a link, and then there's the league, there's the date, but the date includes a time as well, which isn't ideal. Could do being separate. We've got the selection here, so that's saying Liverpool win. This is saying Roma win. This is an over 2.5 goals. We've got the number of winning tips. We've got the win percentage based on the 8 divided by 9 equals 89%. Number of comments, and then we've just got these things here. So what you see we haven't got here is we haven't got the value rating stars, because that is a graphic, and we haven't got the price, and I don't know why we don't get the price. It's a bit odd. But all we do here is I just click on copy all. I go to my worksheet, and I just go to the first cell at the top, A1 here, and press Control V to paste that all in. And you can see it's pasted in there now. And then there's a few little things I do. I insert a column here to the left there, and I just call that time. I do equals right, and then take that cell there, comma 5. So what that does, it takes the rightmost 5 characters from that column D, puts them in there, and then I press, because I've done that, I get the values in here. I press Shift, Control down, I'll highlight the whole column, Control V, go back to the E2, and then Shift Control V, pastes them as values. So you can see now when I'm highlighting these cells, they're in as values now, not formulas. We want rid of the formulas because I also changed this column here. I take out all of this and just put the current date in for the today ones. So that's one thing I do. And then I delete this last column because I don't need it. And then I don't really need this one, but I just rename this one to value. This is where I need to go back and forwards now between the website and the sheet. So if I go at the very top, and this is why I sort them by value, so I can see Arsenal Liverpool's 5, and I go all the way down to the last 5, which is Leipzig versus Union Berlin. So I know these are all 5, so I just whack 5 in all these till I get to RB Leipzig and Union Berlin. That nearly throws there because it's RB Leipzig and Real Madrid, so it's that one there. So then Torino's the next, should be the first 4 rating. So there you've got it. Torino's the first 4 rating. And I'll go down all the way down to Lazio 4. Now, this is something I shouldn't have to do if it brought over the ratings, but it doesn't. So it's just, I could probably do with looking at to see if there's any better scrapers out there, but I don't know if it would deal with this table anyway. It's just the format of the table. They don't tend to make it easy. So then we've got Appendix 4, should be the first 3, which it is. And then I go all the way down to Servet, which is that one there. And then we've got 2, which is Man U West Ham, all the way down to Lixos, however. So they're 2. So it's that one there. And then Dutch game there is, I think that's 0. There's no 1s. So all the rest will be 0 now because I've got them sorted by value. So I can just put 0 in these ones. So if I just do 0, 0, and then just highlight those and drag it down. If I can get hold of it. Just drag that all the way down to the bottom because we know all these are 0s. Okay, so that's what I've done there. And the only other thing I'm missing is the experts, which is a pain as well. And I put that in this one. I'll show you why I do that in a second. It's just in the right place for the columns when I paste it into the all data sheet. Just got to know where everything goes. So to do the experts, then it's manual as well because it just doesn't pull these expert things over here into the table. So I just move down. So Hanover's a 1. So I just put 0s in anything that hasn't got anything in. So Hanover's a 1. And then the next one, I just put 0s down until we get to Elversberg. And then Wolfsburg's a 1 as well. So I put 0s in there, a 1, a 1. And then Leipzig is 0. So the next one is Man City, and that's a 2. You've got there 2 experts. So Brentford, Man City, everything's a 0 down till there. So keep an eye out for that, which is here. So that's a 2, and I think the next one, Villarreal, was a 1 as well against Cadiz. And then we're back to 0s. Luckily, there's not too many of these. So on 0s now, all the way down to Benfica. And I've gone a bit far there, but it doesn't matter. I just change that to a 1 and go back to your page. So then you've got Reims all the way down. So the next one's Man U West Ham. You've got then 2, 3, and a 2. So we've got 0, 0, 0, 0, 0, 0. Right, so West Ham's a 2, a 3, and a 2. And so Monaco must be the next 0, which is here. All the way down. Wondering if that's it. Just keep going all the way down. If you don't see the expert symbol, then we can just put zeros in these. So you can see there's no more. So we'll put 0 in here, 0 in here, highlight those 2, and then drag that all the way down to the bottom. So you can see there's a hell of a lot with zeros in. But we just want to capture this. I haven't done the bottom one there. We just want to capture this data. Now, all I do after that is, because I'm only interested in today, I drop this date column down, and I should probably, oops, I'm doing that the wrong way around. I should probably do a search on this by doing the filter by condition or something. But all I do is I look down for today. Just prefer to do this way. It's a bit more manually. And I take off all today's. I'll show you why I do that in a second. The problem is, on a Saturday and Sunday, this is quite a big list because you get one for each different time. Kick-off. So 3 o'clock, 3:15. There's loads. I should probably filter this and just look for anything starting with today. I will do that for the next one and show you how to speed this up a little bit. Like I say, like Monday to Friday, it's not normally an issue. Saturday and Sunday, you get a lot. You've got like kickoffs every 15 minutes here on a Sunday. Great, that's more than I thought. Right, so I've clicked off all today's there. So all I end up now is with any game. This is a list of games that aren't today, that are not today. As you can see, they've all got dates in, or they say tomorrow. So all I do then is I just highlight all these and I delete them because I'm not interested in them. The reason I don't delete them first is because it makes it easier to drop down the website list if all the records match your spreadsheet. So I delete them there now. So it's the last thing I do. And then I take the date back off. The filter, I just do select all. And here you can see everything we're left with in here now is today. So all I do there is highlight the first cell, press Control and semicolon, Control and semicolon, and that puts today's date in. Highlight those 2 cells and drag that down as well, just to replace all this. We're not bothered about overwriting today where it's got the time 10:30 there, because it's got 10:30 in the next column already. We've already separated the time off. That's why I separate the time off. So there we go. We've got the date and the time of the game. We've got the selection here. We've got a link here, which takes us back to the website, which I don't use. We've got another link here. I'm not sure what the difference is because I don't use them. We've got the country and the league here, so we can analyze by that. We can analyze by the selection. I'll show you how we do that shortly. We've got the expert number. Oh, I haven't got one in for this one. What was that one? Why haven't I got that in? Servet. Let's have a look at the experts for Servet if I can find it. Must be higher up, is it? Sorry about that. This shouldn't normally happen. It should be all filled in, but at least, yeah, I've got no. All right, okay, so I just fell a bit shy of the Man U game. So there we go, 0 in there. So it's always good just to check through your data, make sure it looks okay. Where these are blank, it means where these are blank here, it means there's no comment. So all I do now then is I just go to the first row. I don't bother with the headings. I'll just highlight the first row, press Shift Control and the down arrow, and it highlights the whole data set. Control C, go into all data, go to the bottom, highlight the first blank one, which is row 161, press Control V. That pastes everything in. I'm going to take this date filter off. I'm just going to ask for everything. So as you can see, it's pretty much lined up. The only issues we do have is that's okay, that's okay, that's okay, that column's okay, column E's okay, column F's okay, G's okay, H, I. What I do here is I go down manually and just, there'd be a way of doing this, go manually down and just give it the highest number. So where there's 31 tips and 31 out of 31 gives 100%, I just put a 31 in. This one's 16. So I'll show you how I do that. Do 31, 16, 8, 8, 7, 7, 7, 37. And then just do that all the way down. 32, 14, 10, 8. Like I say, I could do a function to do this, which I might do at some point, because it looks like it takes a while, but you soon get used to it. And it's actually worse because this is the second worst day of the week, a Sunday. Saturday takes the longest, which you'd only really use the functions for a Saturday and a Sunday, because sometimes you've only got like a handful of tips, like on a Monday or a Thursday or something like that. Plus, I suppose doing it this way, there's room for error. If I type something wrong while I'm talking, but you just need to be careful like you're doing the data. Something like this wouldn't matter a great deal anyway, because you still got the percentage in the next column. So 9, 8, 6, 5, 5, 5, 4, 4, 5, 5, 5, 3, 5. Concerned this is getting a bit boring for you guys. 3, 2, 2, 2, 2, 2. See how many more we've got to do. Oh, we're not too far now. It hasn't took too long. 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, all the way down there now. And then the next one, I'll take the percentages off. I'm not going to bore you with that now. As you can see up here, I've got the percentages without a percentage, because that makes it better, easier for the pivot table. Because you can group by like 80 to 100, 60 to 80, 40 to 60, for example, and have a look at it that way as well, which is really good. So what I normally do here is I just click on up here on the top left on this cell here, and I just take the percentage out, click again, take the percentage out, press return, click, percentage out, press return. Just do that all the way down. And this one could easily be done with a function, because you're just taking the rightmost character off, which is the percentage sign. And also on this one, I take out the comments. So here I would just type in 17, 2, 1, 1, 3, 3, 2, 6, 5, 2, 1. And I put a 0 on that one. 2, 4. So you get the idea on that. And then it's just a case of the prices. This is an awkward one, because you need to go through the website now. So what I can do here is Arsenal Liverpool. I'd go back to the website. I'll go to the top of the list. I'd look at Arsenal Liverpool, and you can see that's 3.1, because it's that is a value bet, that 3.1 for Liverpool to win that, because I think they're probably reasonable favourites to win that, I would have thought. But yeah, that's where this value rating comes in. So I thought that was 3.1 for the draw, and it's actually for Liverpool to win. 3.1. Put the price in there, and I go down doing that. It's a real shame that the scraper doesn't pull this. I'm going to look at some of that scrapers actually, because I don't see why it wouldn't pull this. It pulls a selection out, i.e. Liverpool to win, and then 3.1. I'll do a couple more. So Hanover's 1.5. I'll just do the top 3 for now, and then Roma. That's tomorrow, you see. So that we're missing things now, and this is why I delete them at the end. But I don't want to go through putting all the prices in for ones I don't need, because it's a bit of a manual process. Braga 1.5. The reason I put the price in, even if I'm not putting a bet on, is so I can analyse by the price as well, because you can have a look at your success rate and profitability from the price of the actual bet. So that's one thing to bear in mind there. And the last thing I do is, once I've done all the prices and put the bets on, I would I changed this. So from Liverpool, I changed that to away, because they're the away team. I changed that to away. I'd change Hanover to home. I'd change Braga to home. And I would just I'd leave that as it is over 2.5. And the reason I do that is, so if you look up at yesterday, we can categorize, we can group by and analyze these bets, because we might find that we've got more success on the home games at prices between 1.3 and 1.9, which you'd expect anyway. But if it turns out that you've made more profit by highlighting that column on that, then that's exactly what you're looking for. It's just another way of analysing our bets. If we left them like this, we couldn't group, because we've got like Liverpool, Hanover, Braga, whereas we can group if we say, well, that's a away win, a home win, a home win, over 2.5, over 2.5, both teams to score. That's a handicap. Home win, home win. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is pretend we've put those prices in, because what I can do for the ones that we do put the bets on, I can actually put the prices in that we get. So what I do now is just filter by, I've gone the wrong column there. I want to filter by today's date. So just clear all them and I select today's date, which is the 4th. And I'm also going to filter by expert greater than 0. So I don't want any expert bets that say 0 in there. So these are the bets for today. So we've only got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So we've got 8 bets for today. So I'd go and put those bets on. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull the prices out of the spreadsheet. You can actually, instead of flicking between these two here, you can actually put them side by side, which makes it a lot easier because you can just go down both lists at the same time if you have half the screen of each. But I won't do that because I'm only doing a few. So I've got there Elversberg is 1.62 with an expert bet. So 1.62. I will update these prices once I put the bets on. After this video, I'm going to put these bets on. Just a pound on each one again. We're paper trading really, but I like to put a pound on just to make it a bit interesting. I'll update the prices if I get any higher or lower, just to show what I actually won. Wolfsburg 1.53. Villarreal's the next one. But if you go down, just look for these expert crowns. They should all be in order, which it's just made a fool out of us because the next one's Man City. Right, why is Man City not in here? Right, okay, Man City's not in here because it's not today, it's tomorrow. That'll be in tomorrow's list when we come around to doing it. So yeah, it's not necessarily in order. That one's tomorrow, so it'd have to be a crown and today. So there's your Villarreal one there, which is 1.6. Man U. I've got a Benfica here, which is today as well. I can't see that. Oh, sorry, I've went straight past it. Why did I put 1.6 in there? Somebody should have shouted up. 1.6, I'm sure you did. And what was the Villarreal? I don't know why I missed it. 1.13. So these are the games I don't really like. You're staking a pound just to win 13 pence back. So again, I would analyse that, and that's why I want the price in here, because I'd probably look at doing a minimum of 1.3 or 1.4 to make it worth the while, because the risk of that losing is, you might not think it's very high, but you just look at Porto last night, they lost. That was 1.22, whereas it wouldn't have been a loser if we hadn't a bet on it. Man U should be the next one, right? So we've got 1.62 for Man U. Rather than try and remember them as well, I just do them one at a time, because I could have done 1.7, 1.6. I will remember those 1.7, 1.6. So I'll put 1.7 there and 1.6 here. Okay, so there's our bets for today. If anybody wants to get on those, take a screenshot or something. I'm going to put a pound on all of those 8 games, and they will then appear in this analysis sheet tomorrow. In fact, they're already there, because if I click on this edit button here, you can see I changed it yesterday to 999. So that's taking me all data worksheet from cell A1 through to P999. That's why I've got this blank row at the top, because there's loads of blank rows at the bottom below our last bet. But you can see here, this row here, it's already populated the 4th of the 2nd, and once we start typing information in these columns here, the profit will come through, and I'll show you how to do the calculations for the profit in the next video, or a video after that. Okay, so I think that's enough to be getting on with on this video. It's quite a lot to take in there, but that's how I do it on a daily basis. For those who asked, thanks for asking. Any feedback is much appreciated. If you've got any further questions, then give me a shout. Best of luck if you get on these today, and Gan Canny.